A mother and a child's connection is so profound. How can limitations of language ever do this archetypal relationship justice? It feels almost impossible to put in words the love I feel for my mother. But I will try. I have tremendous gratitude for the past 5 years I was able to spend time with my mother since she was first diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. We were very open with one another, sharing our feelings, thoughts, laughter, tears, and some bickering back and forth. The conversations and closures we were able to have were a gift. I will miss her forever. In my mother's life, there was hardships, but also huge blessings. My mother's death, as often the case, was similar to her whole life in this way. It was an invaluable experience to have, along with family, been by my mother's side in her last final days. And I am amazed to recollect the bright, warm, large look in her blue-colored eyes after she was told she didn't have much time left. As my mother began to pass away, I thought maybe she didn't want to go. She was a fighter, and her incredible strength had showed up in her will to live with this terrible disease these last 5 years. Yet in her final moments, the peace and tranquility that came over my mom's face was breathtaking. She was beautiful and glorious as angels as she smiled and transitioned out of this world into the next. For sure, she had agreed to pass on, and by the ecstatic look on her face, I rest knowing my mom was greeted by her loved ones who went before her. My mother, Mary, was 22 when she gave birth to me, younger than I am now. Her mother died while she was pregnant with me, and I imagine that tragedy must have played a role in the tight bond. I always felt close to my mother, but our relationship was paradox. On the surface, the way we lived our lives may seem contrary. However, in spite of traditional and generational differences, our core strengths and beliefs were so different. And it was the spirit which my mother imparted her love and transitioned all of our difference. My mother's core was motivating force, was love. And it was love that has had a profound impact on the essence of who I am. My mother lives on in my heart. She gave me the foundation on which my whole life is built. A calling to live life of service and to help make the world a better place. This is the greatest lesson my mother ever taught me. How to be caring, affectionate, forgiving, empathetic towards others, especially those in need. She exemplified service, be it to the elders she visited weekly. For years in nursing home, caring for my beloved Aunt Noni, or her persistent efforts to meet the needs of her own children and grandchildren. I will always feel love and gratitude for the warm gifts she so beautifully embodied. My mother, Mary, was a force for spreading good in the world and her legacy. This compelling force of good continues in many of us here, whose life she has touched.